My name is Trisha Andrew. I'm a professor of chemistry and chemical engineering at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. I founded Soliyarn in order to commercialize the work that my lab does in transforming commercial fabrics and garments into electronic devices in a completely imperceptible manner.
My name is Jonathan Calley. I obtained a degree in physics at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. At my time at the University of Massachusetts, I became really interested in polymers, and when I graduated, I realized that I wanted to be a part of a company that studied and produced those polymers. Here at Soliyarn, I am a research engineer where I primarily work on developing our waterproof coatings using our vapor phase chemistry. I test the performance and the efficacy of our coatings, trying to understand various things such as its oleophobic properties, hydrophobic properties, and anything else that pertains to the performance of the fabric. Some of the other tasks that I do at Soliyarn includes procurement and other project management tasks.
My name is Aidan Kelleher. I got my degree at Tufts University in chemical and biological engineering. I work at Soliyarn as an R&D engineer. The things I work with are waterproofing and sweat management types of coatings. I also run the chemical vapor deposition chamber that we use to perform the process, and I optimize the parameters that go into the process in order to develop the optimum coating. The coatings I work on can be applied towards any sort of fabric to make them water repellent, oil repellent, without changing any of the qualities of the fabric itself. What we're actually working on is a waterproof coating that's PFC free, so this coating is actually going to be beneficial for the environment because it's an alternative to current waterproof coatings that do use PFCs that are harmful to the environment. And by making an effective coating that is PFC free as well as applicable in all sorts of situations, it's going to solve many things.
My name is Juan Woodruff. I'm from Puerto Rico, and I went to Baltimore to study at the University of Maryland, mechanical engineering. I later went to Boston to study at Northeastern University. I got a master's in bioengineering, and now I'm working at Soliyarn, where I focus on most of the hardware and prototyping aspects of the company. So this includes making and modifying elements of the vacuum chambers and our various hardware components, as well as prototyping some of the aspects of the company that will later become the products that we sell. The fact that we can embed circuits onto fabrics allows us to pretty much embed any sort of biosensor you can imagine directly into the fabric, as opposed to just having it be a secondary add-on as two separate components. So that's obviously super cool, but probably more like grandiose, bigger scheme type application that we have is our vapor deposition process itself. So it's not just conductive fabric that we can create. We can just apply in theory, any sort of coating that is polymer based, which is the majority of coatings that are applied to fabrics nowadays anyway, can be applied in the vapor deposition stage, which would make our process much more sustainable and would then really mitigate a lot of the environmental impact that the textile industry has today.
I'm Michael Richard. I studied chemical engineering at UMass Lowell, and I'm a research engineer at Soliyarn. Primarily, I develop prototypes, and I developed the prototype glove that incorporates Soliyarn's proprietary heating elements. And I'm really proud of how far the gloves have come from when we started. Seeing that develop over time has changed my own perspective of the company.
My name is Timothy Monroe, and I studied material science and engineering at Georgia Tech, and I am the materials engineer here at Soliyarn, and I help develop and produce the fabrics that we use that has our conductive coatings. And I primarily work on our chambers, and I operate them and maintain them and make sure that we're producing great fabric And so depending on what application we have for like these conductive coatings, I'll make the necessary changes to the process to fit that need. And so if a client has a need for a new coating, I'll go back to the chamber or even like to the raw chemicals that we use. And the way we introduce things into the chamber is super important, and even like the pressures that we go down to has a huge effect. Depending on what they want, we can take that and I will develop like the new process or like the new coating for their need.
I'm Ashley Mandel. I'm from Chicago and I'm currently studying at Northeastern University, majoring in business and philosophy. Here at Soliyarn, I am the marketing intern, so I get to communicate a lot with outside organizations that Soliyarn works with, and I continuously post on their socials to gain traction for Soliyarn's innovations, and I aid in grant writing and creating visuals that help Soliyarn demonstrate their products and capabilities. I've really enjoyed the scientific aspect of getting to learn the ins and outs of Soliyarn's technology to really help them then send that message across.
What is your favorite thing about working at Soliyarn?
I enjoy coming into work and seeing the people that I work with every day.
It's definitely the people here. They're a really great team to work with, and I feel like I've learned a lot in like less than a year that I've been here.
The people, it's so great. It's just a fun little group.
Everyone is knowledgeable and willing to help each other out, so if there's ever anything that I don't personally know too much about or somebody else doesn't, we can put our heads together and figure it out.
I started Soliyarn on a dream and a dime, as the saying goes. And I'm very, very excited to have attracted a really strong team around this core concept of using chemical vapor deposition to make smart textiles. And I'm incredibly proud of our strong business team that has grown this company and opened it up to completely new market that I did not think about when we started, which is in waterproofing and oil management and sweat management. And I'm equally as proud with the R&D team that we've built that actually helps someone like a dreamer like me make these dreams into a reality and commercialize the technologies that I could dream of.